Yeah. Well, we did have that early morning meeting today. I don't know if you missed it. Yeah. I'm finna just get ready to tell them these lies. I just gotta do my job. Reporting the propaganda. Makeup. Hair. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Alright. Y'all ready? Teleprompter, please. Hello, y'all. It is Chris reporting live on my YouTube channel, Chris the Brand. Today, we're going to be talking about why I don't watch the news anymore. Now, as a kid, I used to watch the news with my parents every night after school. It was just a routine, basically. The news was a thing that that was just something that we did. It was just normal. Just like them watching their stories. The news was something I was watching every single night. I've noticed since I've started my spiritual / awareness journey that I don't quite resonate with the news, especially how it's being reported nowadays. It's probably always been this way, but it's almost like this dark element to it now, or there is this dark element to newscasting and all that. So the first thing, I got my notes again. I ain't got many because hopefully this won't be too long of a video. Hopefully we can get in and out. Now every time I say that, it end up being 30 minutes, but here we go. So my first point is low vibrations, as mentioned in my last video, and fear tactics, fear mongering. That is one of the main things that the news does. Either it just does it consequently, no matter if it's trying to do that or if it's just trying to report the facts. At the end of the day, it fear mongers people. It's like you're living your daily life, you're doing good, whatever. You may not be having all these issues, but you're seeing, oh, this person's getting shot. Oh, this gang related incident happened over here. Oh, this person just died. Oh, this is happening in the government. It's just like it affects your psyche in a way. And especially now with how we're getting a lot of live footage of shootings. We're getting live footage of different stuff going on, different traumatic, horrific stuff going on. Like, what? And I think that has been happening maybe since 9/11. It's like the uncensorship of it all. Like, they show a lot and we hear a lot. And I feel like it all plays into the greater scheme of things of what they want, which is to keep us in a state of being fearful and scared all the time. Like, I noticed that's where I would be, especially someone at my age, like 18, just becoming. You have the Christians over here telling us it's the end of days. Well, not all Christians. Y'all know who I'm talking about. You have the your grandmama over here saying that it's the end of days. You have the news over here showing a lot of stuff that aligns with that, and it's just like you're still trying to live your life. You haven't experienced all these things that you want to experience in life. You haven't done any of the things that you want to accomplish in this life, and you're constantly being told that tomorrow may not be here. You know how long people have been talking about how tomorrow is not going to be here and tomorrow came? You see what I mean? Like, imagine all the stress you go through just for nothing to happen. I'm not gaslighting or anything, being like nothing will never happen, but it's just like, why constantly be in a state of fear of something happening? In my humble opinion, that's almost like manifesting something to happen constantly saying that something's going to happen, something's about to happen. It's just like, why do you want that vibration? Why can't we be hopeful? Why can't we actually change some things that we actually can change today? The government and stuff makes us feel like we can't make big changes today. We can't do things because that's the way they've set us up. And the news is one of their ways of broadcasting to the world to get us to see stuff a certain way or get us to see certain things to react. And that brings me to my next point. I only have 3 points, y'all. My next point is propaganda. Now, do you all remember, if you took a U.S. history class, I think this was maybe World War II, if I'm not mistaken. We've seen examples of propaganda and different stuff that the government was issuing out, different little cartoons, like all that kind of stuff to get the people in a hussy, basically. Get the people going like about the world, like, yeah, let's go. Getting people wanting to be so patriotic to go and fight, or getting people to feel like this fight is needed to happen and it has to happen, and that's the best example I can give of that's not the best example of propaganda I can give, but that's the best like mainstream propaganda where it's just like, looking back, we can say it's propaganda. Why do you feel if they did that back then, they're not doing that now? It worked then, why wouldn't it work now? You see what I'm saying? Propaganda. Why can't I just hear about some bombings that's happening in X country? Why do you have to show me videos of kids crying, all bloodied up, adults out here running around crying, looking for loved ones, smoke everywhere, all this? Why do I have to see all of that? Is it because you're trying to prepare me for something? You're trying to get me riled up about this certain situation? Yes, these are the facts that are happening, but why do I have to see their trauma right now in real time? That's going to affect me at the end of the day. Just like, for example, also 9/11, we've seen the psychologists talk about this, how 9/11 sometimes affected people in whole other countries like South America. They had psychological effects from 9/11 just from seeing it on TV, just from seeing the reports, having that thought that, oh my God, this can happen to me one day. Like, that affects these people years later. And it all plays into the grand scheme of things. Propaganda. When you keep seeing certain demographics being shown in a certain light in the news and other demographics being shown in another light, or if they are shown in a lesser light, we combat that with the happier stories. You see a certain demographic on the happier stories. You actually a lot of times see a certain demographic reporting this news to you because a certain demographic is deemed as trustworthy. That's the best word I can use. Trustworthy. Not able to do any wrong because that's what we've been told and what we've been shown in the media. Propaganda. When we see bills being passed in the past that ultimately say that it is okay to lie to the people to keep us from, like, basically just going crazy. It's okay to lie to us or fib to us about what's actually going on sometimes. Like, that's okay with y'all? Y'all like being lied to about what's serious issues that's going on? Y'all like being lied to about that? Also, to touch back on fear, y'all remember when Trump was in office? Bitches was scared for their life. I remember being in college just worried about, like, this is where I got to the point where I just was like, F it. I think Trump, he really got me to that point where I was just like, I don't care. Like, you can do whatever you need to do to that country and they can retaliate. I don't care. Y'all done told me that my life just finna end whenever time. I don't care anymore. So if it's gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. And I knew that shit wasn't gonna happen because y'all ain't about this shit. Y'all just bluff. But the way that y'all had people fearing and instilled fear into these people, just like Do y'all not see nothing wrong with that? Like, and you're watching this every single day. They're reporting on these things every single day. You're seeing a new shooter, school shooter every single day. That y'all may not think it, but that really messes with you, especially when you're hearing 911 calls. You're seeing footage of these situations. You're seeing the actual thing happening. It's not a reenactment. This is real life. And it's like some people will be like, yeah, I don't want that to be censored and this, that, the other, but it's just like, it's the way that it's done. You know what I mean? And then you have to think about this. All the news that's going on in America, you think everything is being reported. It's stuff going on every single day that's not being reported. Every single day. I bet you it's a lot more of a certain demographic doing more crimes than you think because they only report on a certain demographic, which is why I'm finna get to my third point, which is racist reports. Have you ever watched the news and some black individual, probably male, did some petty crime, and not even always petty, but sometimes a little aggravated crime, and you know their whole name, you see their full mugshot, maybe even multiple, and you see all the people that were their alliances mugshots and full names on your screen. How often does that happen? Right? When we have a school shooter, all you can show me is a blurred image from a camera from inside the school. That's all you can show me. So you don't know their name. So you don't know their wife and kids or their husband and kids. Yeah, that's one of my biggest things right there. White people can do some of the biggest crimes, and in the first few days or day or two, you will not, most of the time you won't know their name, you won't see a clear image of their face, and a lot of times they end up still being alive. But if it was a black person, one, they either are dead, if they most of the time black people aren't doing these big grandiose crimes like this, but most of the times they're either going to be dead. If they aren't dead or not dead, you're going to see their mugshot before you hear anything. You're going to see their mugshot and their full name, their full government name. But you get a blurred image of this person. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not connecting. And that is ultimately racist, because it's like, you're basically just trying to tell me that black people do crime more than white people. And that's ultimately not true. It's not true. But you would think that because that's what the news tells us. The news always shows us all the crime that the black people do. They don't necessarily think of it from a sociological perspective. A lot of us don't think about stuff from a sociological perspective, which I think you should take some sociology classes, because it really shows you a lot about how someone in a low income is more likely to do certain things to survive, to eat at the end of the day, to be able to live a okay life. A life that just continues. Not a life that they're necessarily happy about. Just a life that continues. I'm going to leave that over there. Another thing that used to happen when it comes to racist reports, I went to a high school that was predominantly black in a small town in Louisiana. And I noticed that whenever something happened or this, that, the other, our school would be put up in the news. Often. It would be put in the news for the pettiest stuff. And it's just like, why? Like, what are you trying to say? Like, what are you... And it's like, it puts this image in people's heads of what these kids are. These kids aren't smart. These kids aren't going anywhere. These kids are thugs. These kids are the bottom of the barrel. That's what you're telling them. And that's what we see when we get home and our parents have our news. That's what we're seeing you telling us. That we aren't worth it. You're not trying to help us. You're just looking at this, these black kids over here like this, optical that everyone can just look at it and observe and just wait till it just burns down, or just wait till it just does horrible. And I'm going to tell you everything that's happening over here. but you have all these shady people over here doing this and that and the third, or you're showing all the good things that this white school is doing over here, or how they are doing this and that. But the black kids over here, some black kids over here doing exceptional, but you don't hear about those kids, do you? You don't. And also, another thing that I've noticed that they do that's very racist, they will talk about a particular place or particular thing and show videos from something else. Mind you, in this video, y'all, I'm not going to be able to even touch the surface of everything that I can think of about news. I should have probably briefed myself more, but for example, they had a peaceful protest somewhere. I can't even think of the city. I didn't do a lot of research before I got on here. I just wanted to rant about what's going on. And they were showing January 6th videos for a peaceful protest that happened by black people not too long ago. They were showing that while they were reporting on this. They want to put the image in your head that black people peacefully protesting is violent when it's not. The systems that are in place. It's just like, y'all think we not in the fields no more? The fields we ain't in the physical fields no more, but trust me, we are in the fields. You can try to kiss up to master as much as you want, and you can get a little bit ahead, but you're never going to be on top. I can tell you that right now. Not in this country. You're never going to be on top until you grab all your community members back here. You just leaving them in the field. You're going to leave them in the field, or you going to guide them? Or you not even guide them to go kiss master's ass, but to go and make some shit for themselves. Not make some shit for themselves for master to come tear it down. Make sure stuff put in place where master can't fuck with you no more. But we not on that level yet. We've been trying to get there for decades, but it'll take a lot to get us there. But of course, the news is going to constantly, keep people teased. Keep people give us something to chew on. Give us something to distract us. Because the internet, that's just the best thing that happened since news. But now with the internet, sometimes we're getting some of the uncut, uncensored truth that government probably don't want us to know. They want it to be considered a conspiracy because it's not what they deem are the facts. You with me? They want to separate us in these 2-3 different categories so that they can better control us. Like, think about it. Like, they'd be like, okay, we take these people, we gonna work with them, and you take these, we gonna work with them, but we gonna ultimately put them up against each other so that when stuff happens, we can get our way at the end of the day. But yeah, that's why I don't watch the news no more. It's very low vibrational. It really, now that I'm so much more aware, like I can't even watch the news or it will really drain my energy. The news takes my energy away. And it's very hard for me to sit down and watch the news and watch all the terrible stuff. Well, I wouldn't even say terrible stuff that is happening. That they pick and choose what to put and show me. Like, I just can't see beyond. I can't see beyond the racism anymore. I can't see beyond the colorism anymore. I can't see beyond the transphobia anymore. I can't see beyond the homophobia no more. It's in my face. I see it every day. But I don't watch it anymore, but I see it every day. It's literally propaganda. The news is propaganda. Allegedly. But it's coming from me, so allegedly. But the news is propaganda. That's all I got to say. Check my resources because I'm not going to check them. I'm just stating my opinions, and my opinions aren't necessarily fact, but I mean, take it and apply it where it needs be, and you will probably learn a lot. But yeah, that was all I had for this video today. It was a lot shorter, so it's going to be a lot easier to edit. And hopefully this turned into something. And this is a lot more serious of a topic, so hopefully I can put a good video together for y'all. But that's all for today. Thank y'all, and stay safe out there. Meditate. Continue to try to do better. And don't let the news and all this stuff going over here stress you out. Focus on your life, what you got going on. Don't worry about that stuff. Take it as it comes. You know, you can look ahead on some stuff, but just take all that stuff as it comes your way. You can always be aware and be cautious, but don't let your caution turn into fear, deadly fear, paralyzing fear to do what you want to do in your life. That's all. Bye.